Welcome back to Mana Central. I'm Sam.
And I'm Kenny. This week we got a whole bunch more new spoilers for you guys, more Oath of the Gatewatch, and check out this sweet new waste art.
It's pretty nice, not gonna lie. First card we're gonna legitimately talk about is Dread Defiler. It's 7 mana, 6 of anything, and 1 black for a 6/8 Eldrazi with Devoid. You can pay 3 mana of any color and a colorless, and exile a creature card from your graveyard, and target opponent loses life equal to the exiled card's power, which is kind of okay. I mean, you're gonna hit them for big stuff if you hit one of your own creatures, but it enables their Eldrazi to potentially put that back into your graveyard to get that cool Eldrazi exile graveyard interaction. So I'm actually not a fan of this card because you don't want to be doing anything that's going to give your opponent the opportunity to take advantage of those exiled cards.
I have nothing to say about this card. I'm not a fan. And next up we have Deepfathom Skulker. 5 and a blue for a 4/4 with Devoid. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. It's its own enabler though. For 3 and a colorless, target creature can't be blocked this turn. So you get great card advantage out of this card, and I think it's going to be solid. It's a little expensive, but for a 4/4 with that ability,
I like it, especially in Commander with Thassa or any other stuff that's making not only it but your other creatures unblockable, like unblockable creatures. It's great. I think it's going to be really cool, and I think it's going to enable a lot of card draw off of itself, which will be nice.
solid addition to blue.
Now, I'm normally not a mono-red aggro player or a goblin player typically, but I really enjoy this next card. It's 3 mana, 2 of any color, and a red for Reckless Bushwhacker. He's a goblin warrior ally, so crazy tribal interaction there. He's 2/1 with haste, but he also has that new mechanic Surge that we've been seeing. He's 1 less to cast if you or a teammate has cast a spell this turn. And when he enters the battlefield, creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain haste until end of turn if his Surge cost was paid.
And haste!
So this is awesome. I am picturing turn 4 Goblin Pile Driver and then Reckless Bushwhacker and then swing for, what would that be, like 6 damage, 7 damage? It would be crazy. It would be awesome.
It would be awesome. And this even like combos well with something like if you got the new Chandra out and you +1-er after casting something else, maybe Pile Driver, and then using the Surge ability on this, it boosts the elementals as well. And I mean, it has great interaction with a lot of things we're already seeing.
It's really cool. I could totally see this in Standard, especially in an ally deck. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, now we have some of the like most painful looking art I've seen. Not like painfully ugly, but like painfully like, oh god, this looks like it hurts. Spatial Contortion. 1 and a colorless for an instant that target creature gets +3 and +3/-3 until end of turn. So this is really great for some quick removal, or it's really great to buff what you've already got going to kind of punch through harder. So not a bad instant.
Yeah, absolutely. If you've got a big, strong toughness creature out, you can afford to -3 on his toughness to boost that power maybe after your opponent doesn't choose to block him. That's pretty awesome, and if you can get rid of one of your opponent's little dudes, like Hangerback or something annoying before it gets bigger, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely, and the only things that I'd worry about is if you, like if they had some sort of counter to, you know, if you -3 yourself, then it's like, oh, you might be a little bit more vulnerable
to burn,
to sweeps or
to some of those other damage spells specifically.
But otherwise, a great instant.
Then we have Scion Summoner. 2 of any color and a green for a 2/2 Eldrazi drone with Devoid, and when he enters the battlefield, you put a 1/1 Eldrazi out that you can sack for a colorless. And this seems really on flavor with a lot of the stuff we saw in Battle for Zendikar. I don't know, it just doesn't really fit this next set for me. I know it's just a continuation, but seems like more of the same.
He's the Scion Summoner.
Yeah, he does stuff that we could potentially care about in the right decks, but not enough to make him really worth it.
Yeah, kind of a little bit of mana fixing, but that's about it. And now we have, well, a return for Munda. Munda's Vanguard, which is 4 and a plains for a 3/3 with Cohort. It is a new mechanic that we're seeing in Oath with tap an untapped ally you control, and put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. Now, the fact that it's each creature you control is pretty nice. I would like to see Cohort on something a little bit more exciting, But this isn't bad. It's a good start, and it also falls under that tribal of core, knight, and ally, which I think
that's crazy.
This is going to be wild.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not enjoying that locks down 2 permanents just for +1/+1 counters on everything. It's nice that it's everything, but I'm waiting to see cohort in something a little more playable, a little more usable. Limited, it might be great, but outside of limited, I can't see this seeing standard play. All right, next up we have Shoulder to Shoulder. 3 mana, 2 of any color, and a plains for a sorcery. Support 2, which is put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures, which is a new mechanic that we're seeing in Oath of the Gatewatch. And it draws a card, so it replaces itself. I like it. I wish it were instant speed, of course. I mean, I'm always looking for what could be better.
Always hoping for instant speed.
Right? Yeah. But it's not terrible. I like flavor-wise. I like it because Gideon's up there leading the charge. But I don't foresee it being super impactful.
No, it's just going to give you some +1/+1 and a quick card draw.
Yeah, if you got 2 hangerbacks out, that's like the best possible scenario for this card, or like 2 den protectors. Otherwise, it might not live up to the hype.
So now we have Gladehart Cavalry. It's 5 and 2 forests for an elf knight, 6/6, with when it enters the battlefield, support 6. Now this support 6 is put a 1/1 counter on each of up to 6 other target creatures. So you're spreading the love amongst 6 other targets. But when a creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it dies, you get to gain some life. I'm not entirely certain how I feel about this.
Yeah, it's 7 mana for 6/6. If you have, if you have 6 other creatures out, you're netting 12 power for 7 mana, which is pretty awesome. But it's really best in a situation where you're going wide. You've got a ton of creatures on the board, maybe a token strategy, and then when those creatures die after you've already given them their buff with the counters, you're going to get 2 life back for each one. So that's not terrible, but it's not something I'm really excited for. Next up, we have a crazy card, Call the Gatewatch. 2 of any color and 1 white for a sorcery. Search your library for a Planeswalker card, reveal it, and put that card into your hand, then shuffle your library. That's it. It's a Planeswalker tutor for 3 mana. How awesome is that?
First time we've ever seen it.
Right? So cool. Standard playable, commander playable, like anything where you want your win conditions to come out as quickly as possible, go for it.
It works beautifully in a Super Friends deck.
And like 5 colors, you get the specific Planeswalker that you want. It's only 1 white is the only color specific requirement. You're playing Orzhov, get your really crappy, one of your Sorens that you want out to make your friends hate you. In standard, go get Gideon, go get Soren, Solemn Visitor, go get any
Nissa,
of your...
Chandra.
Absolutely, it's so
probably
great.
Jace.
Yeah, this card, fantastic.
Cool. So next up we have Comparative Analysis, which is, Jace again. And he's doing it justice, but 3 and a blue for an instant speed, target player draws 2 cards. Now, if you've cast a spell already, you can pay its surge cost, which is just 1 less, and of course if it's not countered, you get to draw 2 cards. So not too shabby for some quick card advantage.
I agree, I like that it's instant speed. I wish that the surge wasn't there and it was just 3 mana, because then you can leave counterspell mana open. If they don't have anything you want to counter, bam, you can just draw 2 cards, which is kind of nice at the end of their turn. Then you got all your mana up, but it's not terrible. It's definitely something that could see play. Do you think we're gonna see Jace as a card at all in this set?
It's possible. I know their normal pattern of Planeswalkers and everything, and how they release them with each block, and usually it's only about 3. Like last block, we had Gideon, Obnixilis, and Kiora, and that was it. But they've been doing a whole lot of idolizing behind Chandra, Nissa, Gideon, and they haven't spoiled a Gideon for Oath.
It's because we got him in battle for example.
Right. But hey, maybe we're gonna see another Jace. It's possible.
You never know. Alright, now we're going to talk about Tyrant of Valakut. 5 of any color and 2 red for a 5/4 dragon with flying. It has Surge, so it is actually 2 less if you or your teammate has cast a spell this turn, which would make it 3 of any color and 2 red. And when there's a battlefield, if its surge cost was paid, it deals 3 damage to target creature or player. So it gets to lightning strike something you don't like, or straight to their face. But it's really expensive if you haven't cast a spell. And then if you don't get the lightning strike, so it's like I see this as being one of those like really not great like intro pack rares where it comes with, you know, those weird decks that don't really make sense, and those like 50-cent rares that like nobody wants those, and this guy. This is absolutely probably going to be on there. Yeah,
and of course, you know, they got to keep their dragons in there, and so they went ahead and threw a dragon in. And as
dragons are important. Can't have a magic set.
Hey,
there was a dragon on Innistrad. I'm just saying.
It was voted the best creature type out of all creature types. Morrow did a poll, and
that was really interesting.
So we have our expensive dragon that is probably not going to see very much play. Alright, now we have one of my new favorites. As more have come out, I've gathered more favorites, and Jori and Ruin Diver is definitely one of them. A legendary creature, Merfolk Wizard, for 1, a blue and a red. It's a 2/3 with whenever you cast your second spell each turn, draw a card. Now, it is limited to that second spell that you draw each turn, but it's still card draw, it's still card advantage, and I love it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it could actually find its place in Standard, but I don't care. I'm putting this straight into my Mizzix the Ismagnus Commander deck because everything's going to be cheaper. I love casting multiple spells a turn, and when I can get some card draw off of that, I'll take it. Be wicked. So I am
play out well.
Really excited. All right, and then we have Walker of the Wastes, 5 mana, 4 of any color, and a colorless. For a 4/4 Eldrazi with Trample. And it gets +1/+1 for each land you control named Wastes. So this will absolutely help you. I mean, imagine this in like, I'm sure someone will come up with something awesome, but like a waste specific deck that has, you know, mostly waste, very limited amounts of other mana types, but, you know, let's say on turn 5 you're casting this with 5 waste. That's a 9/9 with Trample for 5 mana. That would be pretty awesome. But outside of those very waste specific decks, I don't really seeing a ton of play.
I'll be a collector of wastes.
Yeah, you will.
But I won't be playing this guy much.
Oh no. Poor guy.
And then we also have a new core Artificer ally known as Stonehaven Outfitter. For 1 and a white, you get a 2/2 with equipped creatures you control get +1/+1. And whenever an equipped creature you control dies, draw a card. So, card advantage from a white source.
That's pretty awesome for any artifact deck.
And great +1/+1 ability, kind of gives a feel back on the whole, you know, Stoneforge Mystic. You know, definitely about equipment and
Nahiri, Commander specifically.
Yeah.
Those Nahiri decks, Kembakar Regent, all the cool equipment.
All the cool equipment-based cards and decks. And of course, this falls under the tribal with the core Artificer ally bit. I mean, this is a neat card.
Yeah, I don't see it seeing a ton of standard play. I mean, there's some great equipment in standard. Sword of the Animist, Hero's Blade.
Yeah. For a moment there, I entirely forgot about Magic Origins. And
like, Sword of the Animist. People enjoy that card.
Because I'm thinking of like Hedron Blade, and I'm like, what kind of
crap
crap is that? You know? But
absolutely.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, I think so. Alright guys, hope you're sitting down because the Eldrazi have consumed Oran-Rief. You remember Oran-Rief the Vastwood, that sweet card that we used to have that's great for green decks? Now we have literally the Eldrazi's corrupted version. Ruins of Oran-Rief.
That's crazy!
Pretty much everything's the same. It enters the battlefield tapped. You tap it for a colorless instead of for a forest. And you can tap it to the +1/+1 counter on target colorless creature that entered the battlefield this turn instead of green creature.
Oh.
So it is really, I love this flavor-wise that it's literally just the exact same card except colorless replacing green.
Yeah.
Hangerback Walker interactions, those crazy Eldrazi deck interactions, I'm sure that we'll see. I could see people running multiple copies of this, like 2 or 3, in a deck with lots of Hangerbacks or lots of Eldrazi. But for me, more so, I less care about where we're going to see it being played, and I care more about the cool, you know, story-wise aspect of them.
Yeah.
Well, mirroring the card that used to be there.
It's going to play well with the Eldrazi. It's going to play well with the Eldrazi.
Absolutely.
Do you think Oran-Rief Hydra is sad that his place is in ruins?
I'm sure he's really upset. Poor guy.
Poor Oran-Rief Hydra. And as one of the biggest fans of anything full art, it doesn't even have to be lands. I love Immolating Glare. 1 and a plains for an instant that destroys target attacking creature. Now, that's going to be great. Some sweet, inexpensive removal for attacking, but still removal and still great.
Yeah, this is going to be your game day promo, so head on down to game day if you want a sweet copy of this full art card.
Game day.
But yeah, I'm excited too. It's going to be. I think we're going to see it in standard play. I think it is to be able to 2 mana instant speed out that attacking creature. It's going to be pretty awesome.
It's going to be awesome. Give them your best Immolating Glare.
All right, last spoiler we're going to cover today is Eldrazi Mimic. 2 of any color, no colorless requirement, which is awesome, for a 2/1. And whenever another colorless creature enters the battlefield under your control, you can have the base power and toughness of the Mimic become equal to that creature's power and toughness until the end of turn. Not permanently, which would be crazy awesome, but just until the end of turn. People have talked about really awesome interactions with this card in Legacy. There's a really sweet Phyrexian card that is 1 mana for a 12/12, and you know, you could just mimic that and sack it. It could be really, really fun.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the closest thing to like an Eldrazi shapeshifter. But it's just a mimic because it only mimics Eldrazi, or well, colorless creatures, I guess.
And just until the end of turn.
Yeah,
which is, I mean, it's not crazy overpowered. But Desolation Twin comes out, you've got a third 10/10. Ulamog comes out, you've got another 10/10.
Yep. All right, thanks very much for joining us here this week at Mana Central. We hope you enjoyed this awesome spoiler content that we've gotten together and out to you. This is our last video for 2015. So we'll be seeing you guys bright and early in 2016. So, but yeah.
Don't forget to subscribe, like the videos if you like what we do, leave a comment to tell us what you'd like to see in future videos next year, and hope you all have a safe and happy New Year.